In the history of warfare, some weapons are legendary from day one, while others have to fight for respect. Today, we're talking about one of the latter, a weapon so strange, so unconventional, that many soldiers initially called it useless. That is, until they saw it in action. This is the story of the M1941 Johnson light machine gun. Picture this. It's the early days of World War II. The U.S. military is scrambling to equip its troops. The standard issue machine gun is the Browning automatic rifle, the BAR. It's a legend. No doubt, but it's heavy, has a strong kick, and can be a real handful. A Boston-based lawyer and Marine Corps Reserve officer named Melvin Johnson, Jr. looked at the situation and thought, I can do better. Johnson wasn't your typical arms designer. He was an innovator, a bit of a maverick. He designed a whole family of weapons, including a semi-automatic rifle and the light machine gun we're focusing on today. The Johnson LMG was different. Instead of a box magazine underneath like the BAR, it had a unique rotary magazine on the side. This made it look a bit lopsided, a bit odd. It also used a short recoil operating system, which was quite advanced for the time. This system helped to significantly reduce the felt recoil, making it much more controllable than the BAR during full auto fire. But here's the kicker, the feature that made soldiers scratch their heads. You could actually top off the magazine with individual rounds, or even a standard 5-round stripper clip, right through the ejection port, while the magazine was still attached to the gun. Imagine you're in a firefight, running low on ammo. With most guns, you'd have to wait for a lull, ditch your empty magazine, and slam a new one in. With the Johnson, your buddy could just feed rounds into the side while you kept providing covering fire. It was a revolutionary concept, but two soldiers used to traditional designs, it just seemed weird and overly complicated. When the Johnson LMG was presented to the U.S. Army for testing, it was met with skepticism. The Ordnance Department was heavily invested in the BAR and the M1 Garand. They saw Johnson's design as an unproven, non-standard system. It failed several of the military's notoriously tough endurance tests, including the infamous mud and sand tests. The verdict came back, not suitable for service. The weapon was officially rejected. For many, that would have been the end of the story. A good idea that just didn't make the cut. But Melvin Johnson was persistent. And as the war escalated, the need for weapons and good weapons became desperate. The U.S. Marine Corps, often having to make do with what they could get, saw potential where the Army saw problems. The newly formed Marine Raider and Parachute battalions were elite special operations units. They traveled light and fought hard. The Johnson LMG, being about 10 pounds lighter than the BAR and featuring a quick-change barrel, was perfect for their kind of mobile, high-intensity warfare. They placed a small order. This is where the useless weapon got its chance to shine. In the brutal jungle campaigns of the Pacific, from the Solomon Islands to Bougainville, the Johnson LMG earned a fearsome reputation. Marines loved its lighter weight, which was a huge advantage when trekking through dense, humid jungles. Its lower recoil made it incredibly accurate, allowing a single Marine to lay down a precise and heavy volume of fire. The unique top-off feature, once seen as a gimmick, became a lifesaver in prolonged engagements. A gunner could keep firing almost indefinitely, as long as his squad mates could keep feeding him ammo. One legendary Marine, Captain Robert Dunlap, would later receive the Medal of Honor for his actions on Iwo Jima, where he single-handedly held off a Japanese counterattack using, you guessed it, a Johnson light machine gun. He and others proved that in the chaos of battle, what matters isn't what the testing reports say, but what works. The Johnson LMG was a weapon that was perfectly suited for the specific needs of the elite units who carried it. After the war, the Johnson faded into relative obscurity as the military standardized its equipment. But its story is a powerful reminder that innovation often comes from unexpected places. It shows that sometimes, a weapon deemed useless in peacetime trials can become a legendary lifesaver in the hands of soldiers who understand its unique strengths. It's a classic underdog story from the arsenal of democracy. What do you think? Was the Army right to reject it, or did the Marines make the right call? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this piece of history, make sure to like and subscribe for more stories like it. See you next time.